Good morning. Man, I'm fired up this morning. I had an awesome weekend. Let's say good morning to everybody. Chris, good morning. Jerry, good morning. Jerry, happy Mother's Day. Kayla, happy Mother's Day. Trevor, good morning. Pat, good morning. Jamie, good morning. Anna, good morning. Bo Jaco, my brother, good morning. I love you, man. Aunt Joe, good morning. Good morning. Randy, good morning. So, man, the camera angle is different this morning, but it's okay. It's a little different. I don't know about it. So this morning's quote, we'll read that real fast, but we're not doing anything off the. Joe, why do you have 2 stickers on your book?
I gotta recognize what book is mine.
Okay.
I always want more.
I always want more. Dishonesty, lack of integrity catches up with you. That's this morning's quote. Dishonesty, lack of integrity catches up with you. Man, that's a fitting
That's
one.
not the quote, Kevin.
Where am I?
We're on May 10th.
Holy
Where are you
moly!
at, man?
I jumped in June.
Oh, come
Thank
on,
you guys.
dude.
Thank you guys.
This morning's quote's actually
It's
really
Bo's
good.
fault. Oh, what's that?
This
Dave?
morning's quote is crazy good.
Kevin,
Is it?
Are you pointing the finger right now?
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to do. I have to help Bo out. When God is ready for you to move, I filled out that whole sheet. When God is ready for you to move, He will make your situation uncomfortable. That's even better for
It is.
today.
It's a good one, dude.
When God is ready for you to move, He will make your
Sugar bread.
situation sugar bread. Is sugar bread here? He will make your situation uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay, so happy Mother's Day after to all the mothers, which is pretty awesome. Happy Mother's Day. I got to make an announcement for Danielle George. Okay, I'm sure she's on here this morning. Yep, Danielle, good morning. I decided, okay, do you hear this? That we, in here, in this group, not in Danielle's house, but here, we decided that we are, every Friday, I get to make my wife and kids breakfast because these guys are going to run the show on Fridays. And I said that before Danielle, okay? Danielle, I just want this to be clear. We argued about this Saturday.
You're only saying that because she's not here now.
No, she's right here. I just wait for a second. It's gonna pop up any second now. So yeah, every morning, Mama. Morning, Anthony. Good morning. every Friday, the guys are going to run the show because they just did a fantastic. She just put, no, you didn't. Every Friday, the guys are running the show. And every Friday, I'm going to make my wife and my kids like this freaking fabulous breakfast. Every Friday. I'm pumped about it. So I appreciate you guys running the show. It's going to be awesome. So we had an amazing weekend. I mean, I had one of the best weekends I've had in a very, very long time. So, Friday, you guys killed it. I laughed my butt off on the way back from my meeting, just listening to the show. Joe, you were on a roll, dude. Just I felt like you were like.
I read all my bullet points in like 1 minute.
Bullet points. Yeah, it was awesome. Trevor, when are you going to come in and do the show with him? I think Trevor should have to be.
Dude, he should.
Trevor and Bojako should have to be here for Fridays. Yes, for Fridays to be on the show. So Bojako and Trevor, you guys, and Joe said, way to go, Danielle. And Joe, man. You guys, Trevor and Bojako, you guys need to be here every Friday by 6:30 to get this show going. Come here to have breakfast first, so that's a done deal. Gavel slam, that's it. Okay. Saturday we had some of the best groups. So on Saturday we had a family day and we had families here and did games in front of family, and it was pretty awesome. We had a couple outsiders. My buddy Chris from Alabama is here, and Bojako was here, and they got a lot out of it. Brandon, I'll call the boss. Okay, you're gonna be here. He said I'll talk to the boss. So we just had some. It was a perfect weekend, absolutely perfect. Yesterday for me was even better. We had an awesome time at church. I had this great like during music yesterday. I had a great worship session for sure. And then the pictures with my wife, like she loves that stuff, and she showed up and surprised me at church. It was just awesome. And spending time with you, Joe, was really special to me, like really, really cool. I just had a great morning getting to see Caleb, and I got to see John. Pete, Phil, had some great talks with Phil. So I hope he's feeling better. But it was just an awesome weekend. And then we got to process some things, and people saw some things in a different light. And I'm really proud of everybody. And then I got to spend some time, like real time, with my wife and kids, and I got the mats out here, and the girls ran around, and I got her pizza, and I got her pasta, and we got all kinds of different stuff, and we just us was awesome. And when you get to and this is going to lead into my topic today, like I got to sit with my wife for a few hours and watch TV and laugh with her and hold her hand, and Talon there laughing, we're all laughing, and the girls took like a 2.5 hour nap. It was crazy, and that just gave us time to really enjoy each other. And that's listening to Talon come up with some things. The dude, like, I have no clue where he comes up with some of the stuff he says, but he's in that phase right now with shooting you some information, and it's just cool. So that leads into my topic this morning is what's your most valuable asset? What's the most valuable asset? Time. Yeah, by far. And that's not something our society recognizes. We're good at posting that, right? A lot of people are good at talking about that, me in particular. And it's one of my focuses. We missed you too, Mama. I call Gigi Mama. She's like my mama. There's nothing more precious, and we can pretend that money is the most valuable asset. Well, in today's time, who knows? Because money's the value of money, even in a bank, is starting to plummet. Is going to plummet. But for so long, I took it for granted, and there's times where I still do. But I'm conscious of it today, and I want to work on it, and that's a big deal for me. Is that long time ago, I took it for granted to the point where I just hurt everybody around me. I manipulated everyone. I wore this mask pretending I was this certain person, but I absolutely lived by scamming. I absolutely lived by an agenda for me. I absolutely lived by making sure that I got what I want, and I figured out however to do that. I scammed, I plotted, and I hurt. And that to me is absolutely the most disgusting thing for myself, because it ended up destroying everyone. It just hurt everybody in my path. I could always talk a big game, but my actions behind it, oh my gosh, it always showed my true colors. And I just literally destroyed time. Like I've told you guys before, I robbed my family's time. Just robbed them. My kids, just robbed them of valuable assets, valuable time. You know, I was definitely a thief. And I just gave so much away. So for you guys and for everybody this morning, I want to talk about, what's time well spent? What does that mean for you? You know, how are you using an asset? Is something that gets used. You know, you spend it. Like, how are you using that asset? Like, what's meaningful for time for you? What's important in time? Because I know what it used to be. Let's talk about the problem. What it used to be? What was time well spent to you before? Don't be chewing in that mic. I will come over there and just smack you with the mic. Like, just start.
It was actually a marshmallow I found on the floor.
Oh man. He found an asset.
He's had a marshmallow on the floor that he had to use.
Had to be one of the kids, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
No way.
Go ahead. What's time well spent for you?
First thing I'm thinking of is just being in the moment. You know, not having an expectation on anything, because that's something I always have these expectations. Like
Expectation
that worked for me.
created an agenda, didn't it?
Exactly.
An angle.
Yes, and it always ended up. My expectation always ended up to benefit me in some way or some
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
And like, you're just setting yourself up for failure, things like that.
Yeah.
So anymore lately, I think of like even when Beth and the kids come, my mom for family day,
Yeah.
I like tell myself like, hey man, like focus on just being in the moment. Whatever is meant to work out, it's gonna work out. Whatever's gonna be is gonna be.
Yeah.
So like I just tell myself, enjoy all of this time, but stay in the moment.
Right.
You know, and I think that's the best way to enjoy the time I have.
This time well spent.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Elliot. I thought you some.
I was gonna say, like, all of a sudden, like, coming into the program, it was like time was never on my side, and now time is on my side. You know, I always felt like I was always running around 1,000,000 miles an hour, and there was no peace of mind, no organization, just stuck in chaos.
But who was it about?
Oh, it was all about me. It was all stuff that I had created.
Yep.
You know.
Isn't it funny that those two go together?
Dude, yeah.
Like, isn't it crazy? Like, at the core of everything is when you make your own plan and you suck everybody into it, and that's chaos. And it's hard to see it in the moment, isn't it? It's hard to see it. You know, we get to witness that. You know, and we get to witness it and grow from it. Like how when people are in the moment for them, just completely about them, it creates this chaos and this tension and this life that is exactly like the old one.
Yep.
It's scary. It's scary. That chaos is a good way to put it. When time isn't on our side, like, this has to get done for me. I need to go set this up. I need to go scam this. I need to make this agenda. And it's this uncomfortable, like, nasty dirtiness. Like, that's crazy. Go ahead.
Time well spent to me is like when you can think back to a time that was a good time, like not the good times that we thought, like during our addiction we thought were good, because there's times I can't even remember like what those memories are. Like I have written down, I remember feeling thankful for a fishing contest with my pappy. Like those I consider good times. Like when I can remember how the day was, like if it was sunny, rainy, or cloudy, like where I was, how it smelled. Like those are the good times to me. Like when you can remember exactly every detail, that's time well spent to me.
But so that goes right along with Joe. So if you're stuck in the past, or you're stuck in, or you're pushing out you're projecting out to the future, you're not present. Like and everything you're talking about, you can't be thinking about next week's expectations and all that other stuff if you're not present in today. And you're saying the memory is created by the presence.
Yep.
And like being there. You know what I mean? And what you'll remember is not you and what you wanted. You'll remember the other people. Like yesterday, my memory will be about sitting there laughing with my son and my wife, and then the girls come and the girls out here on the mats just jumping all over me and running around and doing their crazy stuff, falling and laughing. Those will be the memories about them. The other life for me was memories about me and what I was doing, and the truth is of who I was hurting and how I was hurting them, but always trying to scam and have my angle for me and my agenda. Everything I did was about my agenda
Yeah,
to get what I wanted.
And I have trouble like remembering. Well, not just I, but like I'm sure all of us have trouble remembering back to those good times. Like it wasn't really that great because you know, a year down the line, even a month down the line, you're like, what did I do that day? Who was I with?
Right.
Because they're really not that great. It was just feel good for that couple of minutes or week or whatever, and then after that, you're like, what was I even having fun about?
Well, you remember how like we can look back. I know for me, you can look back and you know, I talked to an old buddy the other day. Connor was there for it, and you can look back, and I was laughing and talking about some of the crazy, but a lot of my laughter, I said to my wife, was that I can't believe like the difference. Like it's a completely different life to me. And sometimes we can laugh at how sick we were. Like I was so unbelievably sick and twisted and full of me and my agenda and what I wanted. And that's the difference. That's the difference of time well spent. Go ahead, Bobby.
To me, it'd just be like incorporating my family into my life more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I spend so much time just away from them, and I just want to incorporate them like in my routine and just make new memories.
Right.
You know, I like what you guys have been saying about that memory thing.
So if you're going to incorporate family, that means that on certain days for you to have a great memory and have some like awesome times, we got to learn to be selfless. Like we got to go through the practice of not making it about us. And I don't think there's a lot of value put on that here in any program when you go to a program, because you're there for you to get you better in a lot of ways, right? But if it's forgotten of who you're doing this for, like you said something last week that was really important to me, TJ. You brought up about like, did you just drop the mic in a drink?
No, it smashed off my coffee cup that was empty, but I
Did you guys hear that?
I violently threw it on the ground.
Okay.
I was mad.
You know, you brought up something about like what's the meaning of life, of you know, and I think that goes with what I'm talking about. For me, like my whole meaning of life was skewed and like sick and twisted and selfish and like just all about me and what I can get and what works for me. Like what works for me. Like that was everything. I got to do me and what works for me. And I know, judging from what my faith and the things that I believe, that's so far from what the meaning of life is. We're not here to do that. Like that's to me is the start of evil. I got to tell you, like that's when I can start going down the road of like me and thinking about what I want. Like focus on you, focus on me, focus on me, focus on what I want, focus on what I want. That to me is that draw to evil. Like when a lot of people talk about the enemy, like that's it. Those are the voices. Like people, you know, talk about, you know, that what guy you listening to on what shoulder, you know, that's heading in that direction. Go ahead, TJ.
Well, so just kind of what you touched on, I think it's cool, like the impact you can make on people, and like if you think about it in this way, like if I'm gonna hold like somebody accountable today, like that decision to impact them in that way could like move on to like even as far as like their kids and their kids after that, and
Right.
like
Yep.
I don't know, it's just like it's like the butterfly effect. I don't really know much about it, but like just the impact you can make by just like one decision you make on somebody else, and just
Right.
how the influence can like spread.
Yeah, and it's I think in today's time with all the, you know, the talk about the grind, and a lot of, you know, there's so many people out there, you know, that are focused on that becoming a millionaire, like everything we talk about in today's time with motivation on YouTube. You type in motivation, it's always going to have to do with money. I'm telling you, I've done it. I've done the research in this. Like, if you go to YouTube and you type in Motivation Monday, it won't be about time. It won't be about loving somebody else. It won't be about putting yourself second and being in conflict with yourself about your agenda and your angle for yourself. And that's a big thing. That's what killed me with time is I always had an angle. Always. And that's where so beauty to me is self-recognition. Recognizing my issues, recognizing my problems, recognizing my defects, and wanting to do something about it. You guys in the program need this part. You need to get into the beauty of conflict. You need to get into the beauty of relationships, the beauty of truth and change. That is beautiful to me. Like, when you get into that self-recognition, that's time well spent, because if you're going to be present with a group of people, you need to be present in the truth with yourself, like in the moment. This is the tough part for people, that they always says, well, in the moment I react this way. In the moment I do this. Well, you're not recognizing self and not doing the work. Because if you have an angle on something, you're headed in a really wrong direction. If you have an angle and in here you're processing, well, this is how I'm going to get this. This is how I'm going to do this for me. This is how I'm going to do this for me, right? Yep. You're gone. You are not present in anything, and you are headed right back to where you came from, because the whole issue, and when people want to talk about disease, the disease is selfishness. It has nothing to do with substance. It has nothing to do with big pharma. It has nothing to do with probation and the system, that we like to talk about, right, Devin? And blame that. It has nothing to do with any system. It has to do with us not recognizing what real time, well-spent time is. It's not being present in whatever happens today and acceptance of how beautiful today is, no matter what the conflict, no matter what the situation. Beauty is when you can look within and say, do I have an angle? Am I doing something here that is just about me, or is it about me and making memories and being present with other people? That's what life's about. You're not going to go and have on your tombstone how well I drove this vehicle for this long, and I had this many tools, and I had this much money in the end. There is absolutely no U-Haul behind a hearse, right? None. And if we don't start recognizing what needs to motivate us, right? That Monday motivation, for me, this morning, I had my Monday morning drive here, and I sit out in that parking lot for about 15 minutes when it's dark, and I love it. And I play some music, and I'm sitting there in self-recognition. What do I need to change today? But I also, what do I need to do for my wife today? What do I need to do for my kids today? What do I need to do for you guys today? And that's it for me. That's beautiful to me, because I didn't spend a minute doing that for 20 years. Not a minute. So today, I really want everybody to think about time. Think about that piece of that asset. How are you using it? How are you spending it? Right? Is it about you and your agenda and getting what you want and figuring out how to get what you want, no matter what's right or wrong, or no matter what the truth, or no matter what you need? Is that time well spent? Not in my book. Anytime I'm on me and just doing me and figuring out my way and what works for me, it's not time well spent. I'm just telling you from my experiences and from what I see in everybody here. Like, time well spent is accepting and being exactly what Joe said and what you said, Devin, like present and with it and working on something that's way, way bigger than us. So let's start off Monday. Awesome. Our Monday motivation is about time. Every day this week, think about what's motivating you. I hope this week time motivates you. I want to be a better husband this week. I want to spend better time with my kids. I want to see more baseball games. I want to go and have dinner with my other kid. I want time. I want to see my brother and his wife, and I want to be present with them, right? And we need to create that each week. Not just about what we're going to go make, what we're going to go do. We're not human doings. We're human beings, man. Let's go be that. So whatever you do today, Take the time to recognize what you're doing, right? And whatever you do,
Do it with soul.
we love y'all. Peace.